Welcome to The Forecast, a Fortify Rise podcast.
Fortify Rise obtained 10 secretly recorded videos from the defector whistleblower. They were honestly very hard to watch. People are electrocuted in daytime. There's a video where two detainees were beaten. One of the detainees on the ground, he wasn't moving the entire video. We are asking the member states of the International Criminal Court to protect the former Myanmar junta soldiers. It can be quite controversial. Hello, welcome to The Forecast, a Fortify Rights podcast where we bring you to the front line of human rights work. I'm World Wirada Salim, a multimedia associate at Fortify Rights, your host today. Back in July 2024, Fortify Rights published a news release calling for member states of the International Criminal Court, or the ICC, to ensure appropriate protection for witnesses from Myanmar who have evidence that would contribute to accountability for ongoing potential war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. This call happened after Fortify Rights obtained 10 secretly recorded videos from the defector whistleblower. In the videos, we can see Myanmar military junta soldiers severely torturing detainees at an interrogation facility in Mandalay region. And joining me today is Chiseng, Human Rights Associate at Fortify Rights, my dear colleague. She has been doing research on human rights violations happening in Myanmar since the coup in 2021. And she received the evidence of torture from the defector firsthand. And for those watching us on YouTube, she will not be featured on camera today due to the security reasons. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me today.
Shit, can you tell our listeners how did you get to have these videos of torture in the first place?
It all started with our ongoing research with the defectors to document the atrocity crimes that Myanmar military junta and its soldier have committed and are still committing on the front lines against the civilian. In early 2023, our team spoke to several defectors on the border area between Thailand and Myanmar. During our research trip, we heard of a defector, a non-combatant defector, who had videos of junta soldier torturing people. We had to track him down, of course, and requested an interview with him. In the beginning, he was very hesitant to talk to us, to share any information with us, or even show us the videos, which is completely understandable. We went to meet him in person after we got his permission, and at that time, he was staying in a very remote location with very limited access to electricity. Our team spent an entire late afternoon and evening with him, just talking when we met him and asking him about his experiences in the military. And by the end of the interview, he told us that he would like to share all 10 videos with us, but requested us not to publicly share the videos as he's scared that the military will be able to track him down or to be retaliated for the retaliation from the junta. He also showed a few videos on camera during the interview, and this is how we received these evidence of torture.
You are the one doing the difficult job, going through these 10 videos so many times to document human rights violations that happened to the detainees. Could you share with us what you have found from the evidence?
Before we get into the contents of the video, I just want to acknowledge and also say that documenting human rights violation, it takes a village. It is a big teamwork. I would not be able to work on this and go through all of these 10 videos without the support of the team at Fortify Rights. A few of my colleagues, including you, Will, I remember, you helped me a lot in bringing this evidence to light. The videos were not long, just between 20 seconds to the longest would be 4.5 minutes. But they were honestly very hard to watch, especially when you need to repeatedly watch them to analyze closely. In 10 videos, the videos show 6 different incidents of torture and abuse, which included severe and fatal beatings of detainees with heavy whips, thin canes, long sticks, and non-fatal electrocution of detainee. There are also threats of sexual violence against the women detainee, and there were videos in which detainees were forced to perform humiliating acts. And there could be definitely more people, but in our analysis in the video, we counted around 48 detainees, including 2 women, who were subjected to brutal interrogation and torture by the military personnel at that facility, and as well as the commander of the interrogation facility. The videos were recorded in an outdoor courtyard within that military facility compound. We can see it because we can see the building behind the scene, and there's just a clearing, and then most of the detainees are kneeling in that clearing. The original files are with the defector, of course. We only have the copy of it. So we also work very closely with him for him to share us the exact time code of when and what time each of the videos were taken. And we discovered that most of the torture took place during the nighttime between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. Half of the videos were very dark and hard to see because they were taken during nighttime. So when I was going through the video, I have to adjust the brightness and contrast to see the details of the video. I think I will never forget the first video I analyzed in detail. It was a 3-minute, 56-second video that showed a man who was tied up, naked, while being beaten by 3 soldiers. He was lying face down on the ground, and the soldiers were interrogating him and beating him like nonstop. Within that 3-minute video, like almost 4 minutes video, we counted at least 65 times that the detainee was beaten by the soldier, and they were using a large wooden stick. We can see that he has bruises all over his body. They were also threatening him that they will go and shoot his parents to death. And the entire video, it was just him pleading with the soldier and just begging them not to hit him anymore or like not to harm his family. For me, this was the hardest one, but there are definitely others where people are electrocuted in daytime. There's a video where 2 detainees were beaten. It was taken from afar, so we can't really see in detail, but we could see that one of the detainee on the ground, he wasn't moving the entire video that the defector recorded. There's also one video where it showed the interrogation facility commander kicking a woman in the face just for not being able to answer a question. There are videos which depict more severe beatings, and some video we learned from the defector that had resulted in alleged death too.
Thank you so much. I'm very thankful that you went through it again for our listeners. And I think for our listeners too, it's hard to know these details. But also I think that's why it's important, this conversation, right? Knowing all these details, shit. And now when we're talking about our call for this work, right? Not sure if I can say that it can be quite controversial. Why are we protecting, people that can do such, terrible thing, right? So we are asking the member states of the International Criminal Court, or the ICC, to protect the former Myanmar junta soldiers. Could you explain how protecting defectors from Myanmar can ensure accountability for the international justice that people of Myanmar and, the victims and all those detainees and their family members deserve?
As we speak right now, there is still no criminal investigation into the military junta, more recent, post-coup crimes anywhere else in the world right now. The International Criminal Court, ICC, is investigating crime committed against the ethnic Rohingya community in Myanmar, and the state of Myanmar is currently on trial for the Rohingya genocide at the International Court of Justice, which is ICJ. So ICC has a witness protection program for various type of witnesses, including what they call insider witnesses, which could include military defectors. But the ICC witness protection can only be activated in relation to an ongoing investigation by the Office of the Prosecutor. And currently, the ICC is not investigating atrocity crimes in Myanmar in relation to the military coup and the attacks on the civilian nationwide. So let's get into whether it is controversial for us to call for a protection for the former military members. I understand as a Myanmar national, it is not just heartbreaking. It's not only just heartbreaking, but it also makes me really angry to witness the group of people whose duty is to protect the people are the one who is committing crimes, torture, and many, many human rights violations against the people. So defectors and deserter, it is a really interesting topic in Myanmar community as well. Mm-hmm. Many find it hard to forgive those who serve for the institution, the junta, that caused the most turmoil for people, especially for our ethnic brothers and sisters, like our Rohingya community and other ethnic groups. For generations, they've been terrorized by the military junta, right? Mm-hmm. And I completely understand their sentiment. I will never blame them for feeling this way. But I feel like we need to give chances to people to prove that we as a society can forgive, heal, and evolve from our mistake, our wrong ways, and we have to unlearn our belief and relearn, like give a chance for people to relearn principle of social justice for everyone. I don't think that it's controversial for us to be requesting the ICC to protect the former military junta soldier, because they will be key witnesses who have knowledge of the atrocity that the institution that they were working for have committed before. Yes. And I really think that this is how we can bring accountability for international justice and hold all these junta officials accountable for the crimes that they are committing every single day for as long as I know, not just after the coup, like since I was young. So I really think that it's not a controversial call. Maybe some might find it controversial, but I really think that this is something that we really need to think about.
I think our conversation today, it might be controversial or not, but I think it's very timely because we can see more and more Myanmar junta soldiers defecting and fleeing for their lives, really. So maybe just touching upon this a little bit, what does this trend mean for Myanmar junta and also for the pro-democracy movement in Myanmar?
We can see that there are increasing number of defectors from the Myanmar military joining the resistance or just deserting the army and the military. It means that there are more internal cracks within the institution, and that they may not be as cohesive and as strong as they thought they are or they used to be. Many defectors, they join the resistance movement. So when they join, they are bringing out tactical knowledge and intelligence on the Myanmar military. More defection means the regime is weak. But we also need to remember that even Myanmar military junta show weakness on the ground with dwindling number, they still have Myanmar Air Force. And the Myanmar Air Force still terrorize everyone's sky right now. And this is also another important conversation that we should be having.
Regarding our conversation today, Chit, about how protecting Myanmar defectors can play a role in ensuring accountability, my last question is, what's the forecast for the protection for witnesses from Myanmar with evidence of human rights violations?
So earlier, we talked about the ICC Witness Protection Program and how it can only be activated in relation to an ongoing investigation by the Office of the Prosecutor, which is also, we call it OTP. So for the ICC OTP to open an investigation, the member state of the ICC can request the prosecutor to open an investigation by referring the situation in Myanmar under Article 14 of the Rome Statute. So Article 14 of the Rome Statute empowers ICC member state to request the prosecutor to investigate international crimes within the court jurisdiction.
Mhm.
I get it. Myanmar is not an ICC member state, but the National Unity Government, NUG, which is the parallel government, but it's formed with all of the elected members from the previous government and also after the election. So NUG had lodged a 12-3 declaration with the court register on July 17, 2021. 12-3 declaration is, what it means is that NUG is accepting the jurisdiction of the court for the international crimes that are committed on Myanmar territory since July 1st, 2002 and into the future. You may wonder why 2002. 2002 is when the ICC was formed. All the crimes committed since then, if they have the jurisdiction, they can open an investigation into the crimes. I just want to remind the international community, apart from endorsing NUG, that the Myanmar junta will not stop committing atrocity until the international community start paying attention to what's happening in Myanmar. And I think that the inaction that they've been, kind of upholding, it needs to stop. So we need more attention. And I understand that across the world, we have many tragedies, we have many wars, we have many human rights violations happening in everywhere. I'm not saying that Myanmar issue is the most important and people should pay attention to it more. I'm just saying that people should start paying attention again too. And especially like neighboring country, ASEAN community,
Thailand.
Like we really need to start doing something. Like we're neighboring countries. The ASEAN countries need to be the one who's leading this movement so that the international community can pay attention, right? In this region, we have this association, that's supposed to help this region like develop. Then they're just like pretending that Myanmar issue is like, it's okay, it's an internal affair, like we're not going to touch it. But it is not an internal affair. And this inaction by the ASEAN also needs to stop.
Yeah, I really agree that the ASEAN community should set an example, right? So that other international communities can know what to do with us, like how to support us and also Myanmar. And I think it's a long road, right, Shit? But we are walking and we are doing everything we can to ensure accountability.
I mean, I have hope. I work in human rights. So it means I do have hope. If I don't have hope, I wouldn't work in the field that I do. If I don't have hope for the future, I wouldn't be here. So I do have hope that things will change. Maybe not like abruptly and very fast, but I know that there is hope and there is a light at the end of the tunnel for everyone in Myanmar.